Alright YouTubers, it's Bruce Lee John Fan 13 back once again for just another quick sort of like video, and I watched a couple of things last night to just give me an idea that I thought I'd just compile sort of a little list of like my favourite sort of standalone horror films that I think, you know, don't really need sequels, they're good enough, you know, and they're a pretty good watch. So I'll just start off. It's not really in particular like order, apart from sort of like the last few, I'd say, which are sort of like up in my favourites, but I'll just go through them. And the first one is The Thing. Well, not the original, obviously the original's like the 1950s one, but I really enjoy The Thing. I think it's very well made, you know, I love all the characters. I think Kurt Russell is really cool, you know, like him in a lot of other films like Big Trouble in Little China and, you know, Escape to LA and stuff like that. And I love the practical effects in this one, and the Blu-ray is fantastic as well. Next one, The Shining. Obviously everybody, I've never come across many people who actually don't like The Shining. It's a great classic, you know. Everyone knows the story of it, you know, I don't really need to go into that one. Okay, Last House on the Left, and really sort of enjoy this one, you know. I think it's quite well made, you know. I like the characters. I've seen the original, I have got it somewhere, but you know, I think the acting's better in this one, you know, the whole creepiness side of it, you know. I might be wrong, you know, but I mean, this is just for me, you know, and I think this is one's a really cool one, and it's like, I think they're all the extended version now, you know, even on the Blu-ray of it. So I've never actually seen the other one. So, but that's Last House on the Left. As you know, I like only UK made, like gritty horror comedies, you know, and this is a bit of an overlooked one, I think. You know, Severance. It's got Danny Dyer and a few other ones you might have seen, and a couple of other things. Well, I think this is really well made, you know. The gore is pretty good, you know, as well. It's got a lot of humour in there. Not as well, it's on a different league than Shaun of the Dead, you know. It's a different kind. It's like a black comedy, you know. A lot of this humour is quite sort of dry and stuff, but I really enjoy that one. And obviously Cannibal Holocaust. In my opinion, you know, I think Shameless did a good job on cleaning this one up. It looks fantastic, you know, and I know I think there's like Cannibal Holocaust 2 or something, you know, but I don't think it's actually got anything to do with this one. It's not like a follow-on. I've never actually seen it, and I don't actually see it about very often. If there is a second one, I'm not 100% positive, you know, but this one is probably the first and best lost footage, shaky cam, whatever you want to call it, like horror film, and I really enjoy it, you know. That's Cannibal Holocaust. The recent one that I actually really enjoy it's Primal. I caught it on the Horror Channel one night, and I thought, you know, the story's pretty good on it. It's quite original, you know, set in Australia or New Zealand, I can't remember which, and it's a sort of an infection movie, and it's, you know, a load of people, well, just a small group on a camping like trip thing, and there's some sort of like virus in the water, and one of the first people, a woman, actually gets infected with it, and you know, the effects are quite sort of similar to demons in a way. The way like the teeth come out and stuff, you know, push the others out, and the teeth sort of like drop out and stuff, and like the claws and thing and stuff. You know, it's I'd say it's a bit slightly underrated, I'd say, you know, for sort of one that's been on sort of like TV, you know, especially sort of, you know, you get a lot of cheesy ones on a horror channel, but I do sort of enjoy that one. Quite cheap as well to buy. And Switchblade Romance, or Haute Tension. I really like this one, you know. First time I saw it, I thought, you know, it's quite sort of brutal in parts. one of the first sort of like heavy scenes. It's only about sort of 10-15 minutes in. You see the guy comes into the house where the two French girls are staying, and the father of the family, you know, gets his head put into, you know, the stairwell in between the rungs, and the guy just pushes this big heavy like desk and chops his head off. You know, it's a pretty good. You know, it's got a good twist to it. Sort of near the end, I sort of get a click in just before it happened what was gonna reveal itself. Well, I thought this was really good. The Haunting in Connecticut, and yeah, I enjoyed this one. I know there's a second one coming out. I've seen the trailer, and I don't hold my hopes up for much on that one. You know, it doesn't look as good as this one. You know, I thought this was quite good. It's got a bit of everything in there, seances, you know, evilness, on the whole, sort of evilness going on. You know, quite paranormal. It's pretty good. Eden Lake, as you know, like I say, I do like the gritty UK ones. There's no humour in this one. It's straight up gritty, you know, horrible, like deaths and stuff. It's just a young couple who are on the holidays and bump into a load of like teenagers, and they just get basically terrorised. But it is a really good one. I've seen it a couple of times, and I'd recommend all these. You know, if you're like into horror and you're struggling for what to get next. This is more of a recent one for me. Dead Silence, The Curse of Mary Shaw. I think this is a pretty good idea. I've heard there may be a Dead Silence 2 coming out. I'm not positive, but I'll be looking forward to that one. You know, I enjoy this. It's you know, Mary Shaw is some ventriloquist person from way back. You know, the dolls that she used to sort of play with, sort of alive, paranormal. You know, not like in a Chucky way, but you know, it's definitely one to watch if you're into them kind of things. Maybe demonic toys or, you know, things like that. So getting to the last sort of like one or two now. Orphan, I thought that was pretty good. You know, well made. Thought you know, the girl who plays Esther, thought she was really good, and there's you know, all around quite good performances. I really enjoyed it. It's really well made, creepy flick. You know, watched that a few times as well. A good twist at the end of that one as well. If you've never seen it, it's a good one. And The Strangers, enjoyed this one. You know, I thought it was one of the more creepier ones of late. And you know, Liv Tyler, I think she's quite good. Only seen her in sort of like Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure if she's been in much else. You know, there's some quite good parts in it. You know, if you're into sort of like Devil's Rejects or, you know, that kind of thing, it's definitely one for the collection. So this is number 5 now. These are like sort of like my favourite ones of sort of like very sort of recently. So this is, you know, The Excellent Exorcism of Emily Rose. Enjoy this one every time I see it. And actually, it was on TV the other night actually. And when it's, I know I've got this, but if it's on TV, I'll still watch it again anyway. You know, I love how it's sort of like half and half. It's the courtroom drama about what's gone on in the actual exorcism. Love Jennifer Carpenter. You know, think she's good in Quarantine, and she's on like Dexter and stuff. Can't really get into the series, but you know, I think she's a good actress and stuff. But I really do love that one. He's up there with The Exorcist for me. 4, I Spit on Your Grave, the remake, and you know, I do enjoy this one. You know, I like, you know, as well like Last House on the Left. You know, I do like the revenge type movies with a strong lead woman lead character. Well, obviously Exorcism of Emily Rose as well. You know, I know that the rape scene in this is quite strong, you know, but I do like how she gets the comeuppance on them all in various ways, you know, and it's one that I watched once or twice, and it's not one that you've got to keep repeating watching in, you know, every time when you've seen it. is one that you don't forget. So these last two now are just sort of my favourite recent, very recent. The Possession. I thought this was excellently made. I know there's some haters out there, but I don't care. I just get these for me. It's what I enjoy. So the Possession, yeah, and I think the girl in it plays a very, very good part, and quite convincing that she's getting sort of possessed by the Dibrook box, and it's got whatever his name is from he's John Winchester from the Supernatural series as the dad. They're all quite good parts in this. I can't really fault it really. I know there's supposed to be the Possession too. That's actually in development at the moment, so I will be looking forward to that one. I just hope it's as good as that. And number one of recent, not had this very long. I watched it a couple of times, but I think it's really good. I like it. It's really well made. This is like my favourite of sort of like last year, and actually I think it's one of the last sort of like 5 or 6 Blu-rays that I've actually bought. So I bought this sort of brand new, and I think it's got a good story to it. I think it's quite original. I think it's got little parts in there. If it was me, I probably would have gone snooping up in the loft and had a look what was on them cassette things, the tape reels, just to see what they were, and very creepy, edgy seat stuff. I think it's really good. So, but I mean, that's like maybe I could sort of like change 1 or 2 into a different order type of thing, but because my views change on films like quite often. When something else comes out or I watch another one again, I do like some on a bit more than the first time I watched it and stuff. But yeah, then with my sort of like few standalone ones that I'm into. So I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I'll see you next time.